10,000 years ago, the end of the Ice Age cave, a primitive man sits by the dim light of a campfire. A long, tangled beard, a headband, black tattoos adorning his shoulders, eyes cunning and wild. His name is Thorak. Suddenly, a tall, glowing figure materializes in the cave without a sound. Zoron, with silver hair, eyes like stars. Zoron, Thorak, I am your distant guardian. Your clan will become the greatest on this planet. Take it, draw stars on the wall as I show you, and sleep peacefully. He touches his forehead. Thorak falls asleep. The next morning his spears are sharper, and his brain has new connections. Zoron disappears with the words, "In 1,000 years I will return to your grandson." 9,000 years ago, the first grains River Valley. Thorak's grandson Liran tries to plant seeds in the ground. Zoran appears at dawn. Zoron, now you will not only hunt, you will grow. Here's how to water. Here's how to protect from the cold. Touches Liran's palm. Next season, the harvest is double. 6,000 years ago, Coppershine Hills. A young man named Soren is smelting copper. Zoran appears like lightning. Zoron, mix it with tin, it will be stronger. Buy and teach your children to write signs on clay tablet. The first numbers and words. Soren's children are already counting to 1,000. 5,000 years ago, river civilization, Sumerian plain. A girl named Nina, a descendant of Soren, writes on clay. Zoron brings her a map of the sky. Zoron, this is how to build a ziggurat. This is how to control water. Your people will become the first great. Nina writes her first lines about the stars. Her children are the first kings. 4,000 years ago, bronze shines on the sands of Egypt. Young Prince Amon looks out over the Nile. Zoran arrives as the sun god. Zoran, build the pyramid so that it points to Orion's belt, and teach your people to cure their diseases with herbs and words. Amen becomes a pharaoh who rules more wisely than the others. This was a period when Egypt grew stronger, expanded trade, and created a culture that still fascinates the world today. 3,000 years ago, the dawn of iron and philosophy on the hills of Greece. A young man named Solon sits under an olive tree. Zoron appears as a light. Zoron, write laws so that all are equal, and ask what is truth. Solon becomes the first lawgiver. His descendants are Socrates, Plato. He was a student of Socrates and later founded the first known university. His most famous work is the Republic, and his best known concept is the theory of forms. Plato saw the ideal republic as a highly controlled state in which individuals act for the benefit of society as a whole. The patricians, an elite class born and trained to perform their roles, rule over a society made up of commoners and warriors. Plato is famous for writing dialogues on truth, justice, the state, and the human soul. He also founded the Academy in Athens, one of the first higher education institutions in Europe. 2,000 years ago, the birth of empires in Rome. A young woman, Livia, writes letters. Zoron comes in the moonlight. Zoron build roads so that knowledge can spread faster. Pyre the fire that is called science. Livia becomes a scientist for her time. Her children are the ancestors of the Renaissance. 2026, now a modern city. A young scientist named Aras, a direct descendant of Thorak, sits at his computer and looks at the stars through the window. Suddenly, Zoron appears in the room. The same, only his eyes are even deeper. Seta or ere or Haras. You are almost ready. We gave you fire, writing, numbers, dreams. Now it is time to rise with us to the stars. Are you ready? (2226) Space Colony Stargate. Mars. Young space explorer and ship captain Liran, a direct descendant of Aras, stands on the observation deck. Through the giant window, the red deserts of Mars. Suddenly, Zoran materializes in the room without a sound. The same with silver hair, eyes like stars. Only his aura is now even brighter, as if he is no longer a guardian, but an equal brother. Zoron, Liran. You no longer dream of the stars, you fly them. Your ships have reached the moons of Jupiter. You build cities under the ice of Mars, and your children are born without gravity and can read the code of the universe in their cradles. Who gave you a spark in a cave. You yourself created the flame that carries you through the solar system. Lyra turns and smiles, the same smile that Thorak, Ara, and everyone in between had Dotsua. On now is the time to rise, no longer alone. Are you ready to step through the gates to Zorion? 3426, approaching the constellation Sirius. Zoron, telepathically here, in the Sirius system. Your ship will find the first true human colony outside the solar system. A soft blue-white thread glowed between their two heads, a telepathic bridge, and so, through a silent telepathic encounter, the primitive caveman not only reached the stars, he became the voice of the stars. Landing on the planet Sirius, Sarah steps first. Her face is illuminated. The light caresses her cheeks, hair, hands, by around her glowing meadows in the distance. Crystal buildings and rivers, which shine in the same colors as the comet rain hundreds of years ago. Children of Sirius, tall, graceful humanoids similar to Zoran. Silver hair, eyes like stars, transparent clothes that glow in the warm sunlight. They smile without words. Sira steps forward and offers her hand to the first Syrian. Their palms touch, and for a moment a gentle energy runs through them. She sees their thoughts. A cave. Sira smiles, the same smile that Thorak had 13,400 years ago. Warm sunlight spreads around her, and the Syrians bow their heads respectfully and joyfully. And so, after the first real landing outside the solar system, primitive man not only reached the stars, he was embraced by their warm sunlight. Who knows, will the Syrians ever think of visiting their ancestral Earth, which is located 8.6 light-years away, or about 9.46 trillion kilometers? We can only hope that it will happen someday.